Hello, 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 powerful people. Welcome to the More Money with Millen, a show that is a kind of an operating manual for having more money without stress, making your money work for you, and creating your best rich life. I'm Millen Livis, holistic financial independence mentor. People come to me when they get sick and tired of worrying about money, living paycheck to paycheck, and when they feel ready to grow their money with less stress and less risk. We're going to have another fascinating show today because I'll talk about the next 5 out of 12 practical guiding principles for winning when you face adversity. I derived these guiding principles from the teachings of Stoic philosophers and frame them using my personal experiences and awareness. Before we begin, I want to remind you that it's going to be a special event live, no cost to you, Masterclass, from worrying to winning the money game. It's a great opportunity for you if you want to fix the money problems that cause your money problems and are ready to create a pathway to financial independence in your life. So if that sounds like you, I invite you to click on daretochange.com/FWTW link, and let's talk about 12 practical guiding principles for winning when you face adversity, part 2. In the previous episode of this show, I talked about first 2 guiding principles for winning when you face adversity. You can watch the previous episodes on my YouTube channel, Millen Livis Channel Wealth. So let's move on to the third guiding principle, which is wishful thinking is a waste of time. Many people have a habit of saying things like, I wish I could, I wish I was, fill the blank. I wish I was not, I wish I had not. Another examples of wishful thinking would be when you have worked towards some important goal, put a lot of effort, time, and money, yet have not achieved it. Or another example would be if you have experienced hardship after hardship, sickness after sickness, loss after loss, without the feeling like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's understandable to request justice from the universe. Or when you have unsatisfied expectations for outcomes that are not in your control, from losses in your retirement accounts to unexpected breakup to a sudden layoff, these experiences always cause deep frustration. Your first impulse may be, I don't deserve this. I wish this hadn't happened. Using statements like that is a form of self-sabotage. Why? Because you proclaim wanting something that is not your reality at the moment. This often leads to taking on a victim mentality. And we live in a culture of victim mentality right now. More healthy and self-compassionate response would be to accept what has happened, adapt to the current reality, and set your clear intention for a better outcome. Okay, moving on to guiding principle number 4. Focus on solutions. Instead of focusing on the way things should be, could be, acknowledge how they are at the moment and focus on solutions to the problems at hand. If you feel overwhelming emotions, if you feel kind of stuck, pause, acknowledge your feelings, allow yourself to feel them. Then refocus your attention and energy on possible solutions. Shift to your rational thinking state and ask yourself, what is the problem? Identify the root cause. Be as objective as possible. 2, what are possible solutions? Be open-minded. When there is a will, there is almost always a way. If there is no clear solution, what can you do to make things a little bit more bearable for you? And number 3, what are possible resources that you can access? What or who could help you resolve the challenging situation and so that you can move forward? Think in terms of people, skills, finances, and time as some of possible resources. Keeping notes of your answers to these questions will help you keep your mind organized and focused. And clarity of mind is very important principle as we learned from Stoic philosophers. Okay, moving on to guiding principle number 5. Take responsibility for your choices and actions. While it's not taught at schools, taking responsibility for your choices and actions is the essential element of self-leadership. Not all situations are someone's fault. So take responsibility for your choices and actions. Focus on solving the problems you are experiencing and act on your knowing. Act on your knowing. This mindset is useful for rapidly sorting out your priorities when you experience challenges or adversities, right? Knowledge of your awareness of your priorities is very, very powerful tool to make better decisions. And once you take responsibility for your situation, you can then create and execute a plan which will reduce anxiety and help solve the problem, because you will be focused on how you can solve the problem, and you will focus on the plan that you're going to execute. Okay, moving next to the guideline number 6, which is find gifts in every adversity. I know it's not easy. However, every adversity, every challenge, every crisis has inherited gifts, opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn, build strength, and develop resilience. You grow the most when you experience adversity, not successes. The safest choice, to keep the status quo, to stay in the comfort zone, is often a roadblock to achieving your goals and living your best rich life. Though it may seem like the safest choice, more often than not, it's the most familiar choice, not the best choice for you. There are two kinds of decisions: growth decisions and comfort decisions. Best experiences in life often lie on the opposite side of what is comfortable or familiar. You are indeed more powerful and more capable than you think. And finally, the number 7 guideline today that I want to share with you, guiding principle, is do not allow external circumstances to control you. This is the essence of the Stoic philosophy. What you do and how you feel is ultimately your responsibility and your choice, regardless of external circumstances. Stoics believe that nothing is intrinsically good or bad. You assign a meaning to the events you experience based on your perceptions. Perception is everything, and it takes practice to choose a life supportive perception instead of destructive perception. There are different practices you could choose to develop life supportive perceptions. Here are 3 of them. 1, live with the attitude of gratitude. Stoics introduced very powerful tool, I call it negative visualization, as the way to deeply appreciate who you are, what you have, and where you are, because it can always be worse. 2, look at your challenging situation as a detached observer instead of a participant. The challenges may seem much smaller, and you likely feel less overwhelmed when you're not too close to what is happening. And number 3, imagine that you've been asked to advise someone on the exact same problem that you experience in yourself. What would you tell your friend or your client or someone in a similar situation if they ask you? And that's all for this episode of the More Money with Millen show. Today we covered 5 guiding principles. Wishful thinking is a waste of time. Focus on solutions. Take responsibility for your choices and actions. Find gifts in every adversity, and do not allow external circumstances to control you. Thank you very much for your time today. I truly appreciate you watching and sharing this show. Again, if you want to stop constant money worries, make sure you reserve your place for the upcoming live, no cost to you masterclass, From Worrying to Winning the Money Game. Again, the link is daretochange.live.com/FWTW. And I will see you next week for the next episode, where I will share with you the next and last 5 guiding principles to help you feel more empowered and act with more clarity to your health, wealth, and freedom.